Welcome to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan men's basketball as the Wolverines are in Piscataway, New Jersey to take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. I'm Zachary Linder along with Vihaan Easwar. And Vihaan, this Michigan team, it's been a tough season for them, but I think even on the road, on paper, this matchup against Rutgers is one of the more winnable games they've had it as of late. If he wants to come out of here, pick up North Conference ring of the season, what's the biggest key that needs to come to the team in order to pull off the MC?
Well, I think a big matchup to take advantage of is the Michigan defense versus the Rutgers. The Michigan defense hasn't been great this year, but neither has the Rutgers offense. And I think the fact that they have Michigan back, I don't expect it to be as much an issue today as they have been in the past. Like, yes, the Rutgers defense is good, but having the best player working on a lot on offense, and it just, I think the Michigan defense has to tighten up. And obviously, McDaniel returning just a lot in that department, but still. There's Reed, there's Shutters, and they do have the size now to start at that defense.
And in comment, if you look at these teams, they're very different stylistically. Michigan average is 70 points per game. It's 149th in the nation. They allow 79, but you see them at 30th in the nation. On the Rutgers side, they allow 66.4 points per game. That's 40th best in the season. But then they only 66.1, which is 325th. So it really is going to be a battle of the Michigan defense, which is one of the worst in the nation, along with against the Rutgers offense, which is also one of the worst in the nation. Somebody's going to have to give there. We'll see what does. You take a look at the starting lineups for Michigan. Duncan Yander, then second, Sarah Smith, and then better getting that start in the NBA to the team as they get for me. First, it'll be Eric Simpson to get the Davis. Oh, it's anyway. But setting this year, this is much of the season eligibility. But you don't need to stand the trophy of the Jay. And then Clifford Morey by far leading the Big Ten the 85 blocks. And so I think that's about set here. If you think the most important player is on each side to try to pull out the win free speed.
Well, the most important player on the speed side is obviously McDaniel. But I'd say in the case of today's game being predicated on if Michigan's defense can take advantage of real matchups, I'm going to say that Reed is pretty important. Like, Reed is one of the better defenders on a defensively weak team. And I think for Rutgers, I think their most important player is going to be Clifford Amarui, one of the best defenders in Big Ten basketball. And I think with Clifford pending, that's up to McDaniel, who's finally back in action on the road after serving out that academic suspension.
It'll be a Morey versus Reed for the opening jump. As the teams are on the court, Michigan will be moving right to left, Rutgers left to right, and we're just about set to go here. And the ball is in the air, and it'll go out of bounds by the Rutgers bench, and it's going to be Rutgers ball. Last off in Michigan. So 3 seconds into the game, Rutgers will get the first possession.
And I think Michigan's going to try and box out early on. Just trying to tighten on defense.
Pass it to Hyatt. Now Davis takes a mid-range jumper, gets it to the right side. Rutgers up 3-0.
Yeah, I think there you saw Shutter. Obviously, I talked about his size making him more important on defense, but he didn't really do a lot with that size. I think he lacked the agility there when he got beat out on that ball.
Terrence Williams, the second up top, goes inside the read, just outside lane, into the lane. And he shoots it short, but he's fouled by Williams. And Terrence Reed Jr. will head to the line to try to put Michigan on the board.
Yeah, it's definitely something Michigan have to their advantage. Their physicality of those players make it so that they get a lot of calls in their favor. And they've been fairly good at the free throw better than Rutgers this season.
First Free throw by Reed too strong. One more coming. Double positional changes on the line here for Rutgers. And second one will hit off front iron and roll in. So Reed splits the pair. Rutgers up 2-1.
Yeah, and when I mentioned field goal percentage, Michigan is shooting 4.456 compared to Rutgers is 0.391, and they're 0.704 compared to Rutgers is 0.668 from free throws. So that is an advantage that they have today.
12 on the shot clock. Williams takes a three from center, drains it, and it's a 5-1 lead for Rutgers.
Yeah, I think Michigan's been good at packing the box so far, but they just aren't necessarily getting that contact in the sort of people seem to be playing.
Williams the second, inside. Shot well short, but Memorial take it away. Passes to Hyatt up top. Takes a three from center. Drains it. Rutgers scores in their first possessions in the rough aging road.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it again. I think Michigan needs to play less scared on defense. They need to make sure that they're getting in. They need to put hands on this defense instead of just boxing in, but at the same time being a little shy of contact, which is what they've done so far.
McDaniel has it up top, guarded by Amori. He'll pass left side to Williams. Williams inside to Reed. 7 on the shot clock. Back out to Williams. Back to Reed. Shot misses short, but rebounded by Cheddar. McDaniel pass deflected by Davis. It'll go out of bounds. On the sideline, Michigan ball, 16 on the shot clock, just over 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I think that rebound by Cheddar is one of my favorite pitching play for Michigan. His instinct was quick. He just kind of used his body, just take a little step out there, get that black ball.
Goes to McDaniel. Now to Burnett up top. Cheddar. Drives from the right side into the post. Being double teamed. Pass intercepted by Davis. He loses a hand. Bouncing, and it's a really ugly giveaway there. I think the minute the ball that ball was given away, there was really any chip. Getting the momentum. It's just been a really ugly start defensively for Michigan. And again, yes, they're good at filling the box on the defensive chances, but at the same time, they cannot play as shy as they currently do. They need to put their hands out there. They need to take advantage of their hands and the length that they have on their team. This isn't necessarily a small team at all. You've got guys like, let's see, Williams is 6'7", Burnett 6'4", Cheddar 6'8". This team has size. They need to take advantage of it better on their defensive attack on the defense. Yeah, Michigan takes a timeout here early. 17:33 left in the first half. Michigan down 10-1. And for a Rutgers team that, as we talked about in the open, only averaging 66 points per game, 4 possessions, 4 for 4 on field goals. Michigan not getting any shots, as you talked about. They look almost too afraid to initiate any sort of contact.
And you see that on their attack as well, where there hasn't really been any guys in the paint. It's mostly sort of hugging the perimeter and waiting for an opening. But against a team that is so good at blocking and so good at rebounding, you're not going to get those openings.
So we're back here after a 30-second timeout. Daniel take it into the front court. Davis is on. Now Davis backs off. 15 on the shot clock. Daniel passes right side to Burnett. Just outside the arc, guarded by Simpson. Now getting double teamed. Hyatt on him. And another turnover. Rutgers has it. It's a good twist.
There isn't really any kind of synchronicity or closing those gaps. Notice Burnett and McDaniel were too many steps apart from each other on that play, and that's what led to that turnover. There was no one to provide support to Burnett.
Daniel has it. There's for Reed. What's inside the 3-point line? Heads it off to Burnett. Now to Williams. 8 to shoot. Williams drives inside, goes for the layup from the right side. Short. Rebounded by Amori. Wolverines cannot get anything to fall. Rutgers moving in transition now. Now the back off a little. Williams to Maury back to Williams. Williams goes inside, gets past Ranger. First leg is good. The lead is 13.
And these teams turnover issues were no. They have a negative turnover mark compared to a positive turnover one for Rutgers. But it seems that a lot of these turnovers are just avoidable. And if they just put a few more men on there, they could avoid these.
And a big three for McDaniel from the right corner goes in. First field goal for Michigan. 4 minutes in. The score now 14-4. Scarlet Knights.
Yeah, just again, nice three, but again, still that issue with space there.
As Williams drives into the basket, gets the layup to go, being guarded by Williams. And it's a 12-point lead once again. Daniel fakes three, passes to Cheddar. Shot is blocked. And Cheddar tries to get his own rebound. He cannot. As Simpson has it, Cheddar fouls Simpson. And we'll go to a media timeout. 15:24 left in the first half. This Wolverines defense has 0 stops so far in this game, and they trail 16-4.
Yeah, I mean, the ball handling is extremely sloppy. Just there seems to be an inability to even take those 2 steps through the ball. It's mostly just the minute they get the ball, they try to dump it off. And that strategy clearly isn't working out, you know? They're playing impatiently. There doesn't seem to be enough synchronicity going on. As we both said, they look like playing a little scared at the moment. And I think they're going to need some time to ease them into the game. But how much time do you need to ease in the game before you're staring down a 12-point deficit at the moment, 15, potentially 20-point deficit at the moment?
This Michigan offense, they're 1 for 5 shooting. 2 of those shots have been blocked. They've turned it over twice. The one shot, a big three from Doug McDaniel. Rutgers 7 for 7 on field goals. Jeremiah Williams has 3 of them, including a three-pointer. He has 7 points. Every player in this Rutgers starting lineup has scored already. Hyatt with a three-pointer as well. Simpson, Davidson, and Moore each have 1 shot to go as well. And we had talked about, could this Michigan defense, ranked among the bottom in the nation, contain this Rutgers offense that struggles to score? So far, they have not been able to. And which side of Michigan's play so far is concerning you more? The lack of physicality on the defensive side or the carelessness and really it seems lack of designed offense when trying to score?
Yeah, being honest, I think a lot of it stems back to that lack of physicality because I think that shows to you just the nervousness here. Like when you're being careless, when you're just trying to like dump the ball off immediately after getting it without even bothering to take these steps, that sort of reflects a team-wide mentality of, oh, we're scared, we don't know what we can do with this ball. So I think if they can maybe just fix up that issue that they have with this mentality, I think that would sort of extend to them fixing their issues on offense. Because once you're comfortable, like just getting to the ball, you're comfortable with holding on to the ball just a little longer, enough to wait for something to open up instead of handing it off as soon as you can.
Yeah, this is a Michigan team that we know can struggle in second halves a number of times this year. When these teams played in Ann Arbor earlier this year, Michigan had a halftime lead, had a 15-point lead in the second half, and then Rutgers pulled away and ended up coming back to win by 10. Now it's Rutgers with the hot start. Michigan getting the 4 extended breaks here in the first media timeout after they had already took a 30-second timeout earlier. Trailing by 12, you figure this Rutgers offense is going to cool off. They haven't missed a shot so far, which obviously is not sustainable. It will be Rutgers' ball after the foul by Will Cheddar as they inbound it. Rutgers moves fast. Simpson drives, layup. This is off the backboard. Rebounded by the Wolverines. Maury thought he was foul on the rebound, I think. McDaniel takes a mid-ranger from the foul line, misses, airballs it, rebounded by Williams. Williams drives quickly to the basket, gets the layup in, 18-4.
And the Rutgers offense has struggled noticeably this season, but the minute that Williams started coming out and getting more minutes and becoming a regular, you can clearly see a turnaround. He's clearly the best player offensively on this team.
Cheddar to Williams, left corner, 12 to shoot. Inside to Reed. Into Cheddar in the lane. Tries to put it in. Can't. Gets it to rebound. Tries back toward the basket. Gets the layup. Peichel wanted to travel. Didn't get it. And Michigan gets it back to a 12-point deficit. Steve Peichel really mad from the Rutgers bench that a travel was not called there on Cheddar.
Yeah, and Cheddar's rebounding has been one of the few things that's worked out for Michigan today.
3 from Simpson does not go. Reed with the rebounds. Michigan brings it up front court. Burnett has it. Pass to Williams. Left corner. Takes a 3. Off front iron. Rebounded by Hyatt.
Yeah, and I think there's been just so many airball threes and just other airball shots so far. That's a little frustrating to see the team just playing with so much space out at their first resort to these sort of airball shots.
Williams takes it away from Terrence Williams. The second takes it away from Jeremiah Williams. Wolverines moves quickly. There's going to be a foul now against Rutgers on action at the rim. Washington's foul, 25.
And I think there's been an improvement in terms of the ball handling. There's been a couple of turnovers forced. They haven't necessarily gifted away as much. I think part of that comes down to Cheddar having good instincts despite his size. Sort of able to go back there and fight for those rebounds.
So Terrence Williams the second was fouled by Jeremiah Williams on a putback attempt. He'll get 2 free throws in his second foul by Rutgers. Goes by Williams. First shot misses off the front of the ring. Wolverines now 1 for 3 from the line early in this game. 13:39 to go in the first half. On the floor for Rutgers. It's foul. One more shot coming for Williams. And it will go as Austin Williams entered the game for Rutgers. And a turnover by the Scarlet Knights as Davis fell down.
Yeah, very light touch officiating today. Just the ref isn't calling more fouls than he needs to. I think very much let the kids play.
As Chase Howard came in for the Wolverines during that last timeout. And now a turnover by the Wolverines. Amori has it, and blocking foul called against Amari Burnett. Believe it'll be on the floor. Second foul by the Wolverines.
Yeah, and I think you'll see the Wolverines getting a little reckless at times in these sorts of games. But today, for the most part, I think they've been a little better when they're avoiding the foul so far. Again, maybe that just affects their early, like, where you just even blocks the back.
If Amori gets it done, this drives through a lot of space, and it's a 13-point lead for Rutgers at 20-7. McDaniel inside the Reed. Goes out to Jace Howard in the corner. Howard drives inside, into the lane, puts it up. No good, but Reed gets the putback. Michigan picks up its 5th offensive rebound and turns it into a pair.
Yeah, I think that's been the area where they've just been absolutely on point today. I think we're really going to make sure that ball doesn't go far out of bounds on up the place. And it's pretty light touch rebounding. They're not necessarily pushing everything into it, but what they've done on that front has still worked.
So Maury inside, guarded by Reed, puts it up, gets it to go.
And now Amori has 6 points, which is a modest total, but he just opened up so much on the offense for Rutgers. Essentially, most of those attacks have ran through him today.
McDaniel has it, drives inside, outside, and an offensive foul would be called against Doug McDaniel as he passed it off to Jalen Llewellyn, who was going to attempt a three-pointer from the right corner. So we'll go to another media timeout here. 22-9 in favor of Rutgers with 11:54 left in the first half. Yeah, we look at this matchup. As I think you had talked about before the game, the big size matchup between Chris Amori and Terrace Reed Jr. And it's pretty clear so far that he's gotten the upper hand up to this point.
Absolutely, yes, yes. And I think I mentioned Maury's offensive capabilities that usually you don't see a lot of sort of coming to light here, but he's also been that hasn't necessarily resulted in neglecting his defensive work because he's been able to travel both lengths of the court. And I think maybe they're going to start to load manage him a little bit in the second half, but for the time being, it's working out well because he's opening up just so much for that Rutgers team as the step.
Yeah, we know obviously Amori, the Big Ten leader, coming in with 85 blocks this season. The offensive numbers obviously aren't there as much. Averaging 10.7 points per game. He's third on the team. But of course, just the space that he creates in the lane, as you're talking about, really has created a lot of those open shots with the Wolverines defense that just has not done a good job keeping Rutgers out of the paint in particular. Giving Rutgers a lot of easy shots. Now, they are 2 for 3 from the 3 points, but otherwise, they've really been driving toward the basket for a lot of their shots. 14 of their 22 points so far have come from the paint. Michigan has 4 points in the paint.
And I think you haven't seen Rutgers attempt a lot of threes, and I think they're also playing a more cautious approach, but I'd argue their approach of caution is working out significantly better from the Wolverines because Rutgers aren't afraid to get their hands dirty on defense, and on offense, they're just taking shots when they need to. I think they played a cleaner game of basketball so far, and the deficit is significant, but the Wolverines have done some things right, and one of those is offensive rebounding. But at the moment, I think Rutgers are just playing a much cleaner and a much smarter game of basketball, and that's what is such a big need for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think in large part, obviously, you take a look at Rutgers this season, and they're shooting 3-pointers at just a 29% clip. But then you take a look, so it's understandable why they wouldn't want to be taking a lot of threes. But especially in this game, the Wolverines have just given the Scarlet Knights so many points in the paint to the point that Rutgers just hasn't had a need to go for the three. As we're back here, to Rutgers ball. Just over 8 minutes into the game. Fernandez has it for Rutgers. Goes to Hyatt. Hyatt drives inside and gets fouled by Jace Howard. He can't get the layup to fall, but he'll go to the line for a pair as Rutgers takes its first free throws of the game.
Yeah, and I complimented the Wolverines on their ability to avoid fouls, but I think I've seen a couple of them foul in the last 2 minutes.
As Hyatt hits the first. And he gets the second one as well. And the lead is now 15 for Rutgers. Williams passes into Llewellyn. The Cheddar Llewellyn. Wolverines passing a lot in their backcourt. And it's going to be a travel against Llewellyn. And that's turnover number 5 here in the first 8.5 minutes of this game.
Yeah, that's a good question.
This commenting, that was the 5th turnover for Michigan here. Rutgers now inbounds in the front court with the travel occurred in the backcourt. 3-pointer for Hyatt. From up top, misses. And a good rebound by Llewellyn. Reaching up to keep it away from Davies. McDaniel brings it up.
Right. I still think the Wolverines also need to try and be a little more unpredictable on offense. They seem to be running a lot of design attempts.
And Cheddar hits a 3 from the left side, cutting the deficit to 12. Wolverines are now 3 for 5, or 2 for 4 rather, from outside the arc. As Davis drives it in, gets the layup, makes the lead 14 again. Daniel up top. Outside to Williams. Brings it in, mid-ranger, rolls over the top. Rutgers with the rebounds.
And I think Rutgers rebounds very quickly. They don't really waste a lot of time. They're really good at getting down the court just quickly. They don't take up a lot of time on their attacks.
Austin Williams unable to get the layup to go. McDaniel takes it in, passes to Cheddar at the free throw line, drives inside, and gets it to go. That's been the second time this game Steve Peichel upset about not getting a travel call. Not quite as animated as Cheddar's last shot. 12-point game. And now a foul going to go against Michigan. That'll be on McDaniel, his first. 0.
Yeah, and I think a couple of those travels called were a little dicey, but I think ultimately whether there was some contact, but I think Michigan did just take the unnecessary step to try and break the contract, which is a good thing that Rutgers has done. She's putting enough, getting handsy enough that you're going to force a Michigan error in terms of traveling, but not handsy enough to result on a foul on your end.
Simpson will inbound to a Wolverine. Vihaan drives inside and gets it past Trey Jackson with a layup. They'll lead at 14 again. Rutgers 28, Michigan 14, 9:40 to go in the half. Burnett to Reed. He dumps off back to Burnett. Outside to Howard. Still working around up top. Burnett now drives. Pushes it out to Llewellyn. Takes a three from the right. Off the rim, no good. And Amori will come up with the rebounds. Pass to Fernandez. And Rutgers loses control. And drives it to the basket to give Rutgers a 16-point lead.
Yeah, I think Michigan managed to get the tip there to sort of make that ball wobble, but at the same time, they weren't able to do enough to necessarily make the turnover. And I think that was an example of how they just left a little too much space for Rutgers to operate today.
As Burnett just throws it away, it looks like he was throwing it to Trey Jackson, not realizing Jackson was driving up toward the post. Turnover number 6 is for Michigan. Rutgers gets it back, 8:48 to go. Cool. Simpson has it. And still now he's left side. Pass out to Hyatt from the right. Takes a three off the rim. Reed comes up with the rebounds. And that goes inside to Cheddar. Back to Burnett. Driving toward the basket to Reed, who dunks it and gets a foul. And he'll go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play. Simpson.
Yeah, I think that movement is what you want to see from Michigan. It's something they've been missing just a little bit more. I think there's a little more synergy in that offense. There's a little bit more willingness to sort of drive into the paint and win those fouls. I think they're playing a little less scared of the ball, which is a slightly goal.
Reed at the line for one. And rolls around, rattles out. And Hyatt with the rebound. Michigan just 2 for 5 from the line so far. Rutgers has made their only 2 free throws. So we close in on the 8-minute mark. Davis has it. Drives to the top of the key. Now comes inside. Without to Fernandez. 10 of the shot clock. Fernandez takes a break. Gets it. Start the lead with 17. Well,
I think Michigan's technique just seems so much better in the offensive half of the court than the defensive half. For which tracks with the way they've seen this match so far.
So we'll have another stoppage here. 7:42 to go in the first half. Rutgers on top, 33-16. And we've seen Rutgers has started to cool off a bit. But still 14 of 19 from the floor for a 72% clip. Michigan 6 for 18, 33%. Michigan 2 for 5 from the free throw line. They do also have 6 turnovers. Just over 12 minutes into this game. If you look at Michigan, they haven't been shooting the ball that well. the turnovers that they're initially seen all year are continuing to creep in. And then just on the defensive side, it feels like, as you've said, Rutgers has done a much better job of playing disciplined, but not being afraid to get in there and still be physical. Michigan, they haven't had too much foul trouble. They only have 5 fouls so far, but Rutgers has just had so many uncontested baskets, which has led them to 20 points in the paint already in the first 12 minutes of this game.
I and I think another big issue for Michigan today has been the play in transition because if you notice Rutgers, they transition significantly better than Michigan. Whereas with Michigan, it's almost like the minute that a ball gets into the Rutgers, half the coach just seem to know it's going to be a basketball. That's it. There's very little ability to adapt to Michigan. It's entirely playing behind Rutgers. And it seems just someone letting Amari, someone who's usually not a scorer, usually not a big offensive scorer, just do so much of the offense. It's yes, reflective of his help. It's also reflective of the fact that Wolverines just have such a hard time transitioning.
Yeah, to your point, it's been clear that Rutgers has really played the fast transition game, especially with some of the live ball turnovers. And that specifically is where Michigan has struggled so much, and Rutgers has just exploited it. Meanwhile, Michigan, I think you talked about, they'll drive up right up to the 3-point line, and then they just kind of stop it, feels, just kind of pass it around the yard without any real clear plan of how they're going to try to score. And that just gives Rutgers time to really establish their defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And the positions just seem to change much for Michigan, which you have like Shadow in the center, and then you have McKinney hugging the sidelines. And I think it shows that a lot of these plays are just designed offensively for one person, just whoever has the ball to take over and shoot. And I guess the thing is, when you can't airball, Michigan just doesn't really know how to adapt. I just like the game plan has thorough enough. Okay, that's maybe it's a little too harsh, but I think the issue is the game plan is a little limited, and Michigan just don't know how to improvise and get off script.
Yeah, to your point, it's a lot of the shot selection, not particularly great for Michigan, leading to a lot of the air balls as we're back here. 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Rutgers with a 33-16 lead. As Llewellyn drives inside, shot gets blocked. Ball taken away by Amori. As Hyatt has it now. He'll drive inside. This is the layup. Amori with the rebounds. Now goes out to Hyatt, 15 on the shot clock. Right around the arc. He'll move up top. Reed is on it. That's the Fernandez. 5 on the shot clock. He'll take a 3. And he gets that. And Rutgers makes it a 20-point lead.
And that's an example of what I was saying. And there it wasn't even a typical fast break from Rutgers. There they were able to take their time because they just knew that Michigan was still going to be afraid to touch them defensively.
And Trey Jackson unable to hit the reverse layup. Hyatt gets the rebound, pass to Fernandez. Rutgers moving in transition again. Michigan able to slow them down a little. As Fernandez passes to Hyatt, who now drives into the lane. And he'll be fouled as he went for the layup. Does not fall, but he'll go to the line for 2.
You have to wonder what exactly is it that makes Michigan capable of being so physical and strong on the ball in the offensive end, but then when the game swings to the other end, the exact same players just seem so scared to defend.
Hyatt hits the first. And this is the second. Reed comes up with the rebounds. That's the Burnett. Taken from the front court, 2 seconds to spare. Llewellyn has it now. Still working up top. 12 on the shot clock. Not much ball motion. He'll pass to Cheddar. Back to Llewellyn. Llewellyn drives inside. He'll take a mid-range jumper. With the shot clock winding down, as Rutgers comes up with the rebound, if the shot clock was expiring, and Trey Jackson's going to foul. Michigan Wolverines foul too. Trey Jackson Davis.
And Michigan has famously not had too many issues in the first half of games, but it's the second half where their issues accumulate. But here, they haven't been able to get anything out of the gate. They're staring down a 21-point deficit that doesn't look like it's going to improve unless Michigan can figure out how to translate their same energy in the opposite side of the court to the defensive side.
Anderson, Scarlet Knights, Marcus Davis, shooting 1-and-1. So that was the 17th foul on Michigan. So it will be a 1-and-1 for Michael Davis. And he gets the front end to roll in. So he'll get one more. So Michigan's now returned to their starting five. And David gets both of them. 39-16 to score. A touch under 6 minutes left in half number one. Rutgers going with the four-man press. Michigan will try to beat it, and then Burnett's just going to lose the handle on it, and another turnover for the Wolverines.
And that was a strong long pass from McDaniel to Burnett, but Burnett just couldn't handle it after. Burnett, I think in that case, took too many steps. Just could not get a handle on after his third.
We noticed that Williams tried to take the basket, gets a layup, and Michigan now trailing by 25 with 5:20 to go. McDaniel, once again, playing it slowly. He'll dribble around to the right side. Simpson guarding him not that closely. He'll now get it out to Williams the second. He dumps off to Burnett. 8 on the shot clock. Cheddar. Takes 3, passes inside to Reed, who gets fouled by Amori. That'll be the first on Amori, the fourth on Rutgers here in the first half. Rutgers on an 11-0 run for the last 3 minutes. His first. He is fourth. Right here.
And surprisingly, Cheddar is Michigan's top scorer today with 7 points. McDaniel only had 3, which I believe was the 3 that he sank early in the game.
Burnett takes a 3 from up top, off the front of the rim, but Michigan with the rebound. Burnett will now get a 3 from the right corner, rolls around, cannot fall. Rutgers going to come away with the rebounds. Boston Williams goes to Conquest. And an offensive foul for an illegal screen, I believe. Rutgers foul now.
And earlier I mentioned that Rutgers were shooting from distance less frequently than Michigan did, but that trend has changed just a little. I think it's Rutgers sort of reading Michigan's game plan and realizing that Michigan isn't going to give them, Michigan is just not going to give them the perspective that they really fear. I think they're getting a little more bold to take their chances from outside because of the way they've seen Michigan defend.
Reed dumps off to McDaniel, takes a 3, he gets it. And Michigan will at least temporarily silence the crowd. The score now 41-19 as we count down toward the 4-minute mark. Here's good to Fernandez. Back to Davis. Inside to Palmquist. And shot blocked by Reed, who takes it away past McDaniel. Michigan will quickly move up the court. McDaniel shoots, cannot get it in. Rutgers comes away with the rebound. Fernandez tries to score in transition. He can't get it to go. Michigan comes out with it right back. Daniel has it again. Pass to Williams. Williams drives inside. Now in the lane. He passes out to Cheddar. Goes inside to Reed. Pass a little wide. And it's going to be taken away by Williams. Austin Williams for Rutgers. Drives. Cannot get the layup to go. Cheddar with the rebounds. And a couple empty possessions there for Rutgers. And now it's going to be an offensive foul against Michigan. As we'll head to immediate timeout here, the last one in the first half. Michigan foul. Terry Jr. picking up the foul. His second.
I think it's made watching today's matchup somewhat frustrating is the fact that Michigan's errors are fairly visible. It's yes, Rutgers are playing well, but Michigan have gotten a lot of points. But at the same time, they haven't done enough to change that over the course of the game. They're making a lot of same turnovers. They still struggle massively on fast breaks. It's mostly the same issues that keep recurring.
Yeah, so 41-19 Rutgers lead with 3:13 left here in the first half. If you take a look, Rutgers shooting 64% from the floor. They're 4 for 7 on threes. Michigan just 7 for 25 and 28% from the field. Obviously, you expect both of those percentages to regress toward normal numbers. But then again, it's not just entirely luck, as we've talked about. Rutgers is doing such a good job getting quick transition. Michigan not defending it well. Rutgers getting to the baskets. For Michigan, just feels very stagnant offense and not really managing to create space and open up options when none exist. Michigan just kind of settling for very difficult shots.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Rutgers' percentages this year are 0.391 from field goal, 0.668 from free throw, 0.291 from point change. They aren't a super efficient team when it comes to these hits, but Michigan is just giving them so much more time that they're able to position their looks more. And yeah, maybe it's just unsustainable. Maybe it is unsustainable, as you've been saying. Maybe it will regress a little bit more towards their mean. But you have to wonder, does it have something to do with the amount of time Michigan gives them on each of their looks? And I say it's a factor. It's maybe not the whole reason, but it's a factor.
Last media timeout here, Michigan will look to just get some sort of positive run. And this is a Rutgers team that is coming to the game, losing their last three, lost 63-46 to Maryland here at Jersey Mason Arena this past Sunday. And they have a good chance of eclipsing their point total from last game just here in this first half. 41-19 to score. We're getting set to resume here. It'll be Rutgers ball after Terry Street Jr. calls for an illegal screen. Ninth turnover for Michigan. Here's on 32 Michigan. That's a little bit non-foul. They did take a look at that foul during the media timeout to potentially upgrade it. Did not, as Rutgers turns it over. McDaniel intercepts a pass. Williams thinks about a three. He'll drive inside instead. And it'll be a kick ball. Kick ball. And Michigan will keep it. 23 on the shot clock. 2:56 left in the half. McDaniel will throw it into Williams. He'll take the mid-ranger. He gets it. It's a 20-point game. Fernandez. Go to Hyatt. Out to Simpson. He threw it up to himself and never started dribbling, so no double dribble. Rutgers can't get a shot to go. 2.5 minutes left. Wolverines take it away. Williams the second. Out to Cheddar. Inside. Layup. Blocked by Amore. The Big Ten's leader in blocks. Picks up his second of the game. Swatch it out of bounds. Rutgers has not scored in the last 3 minutes, 8 seconds. They've missed their last 4 shots.
And I think one thing for Michigan to consider at going into the half is that Cheddar has been their best option on offense so far. And I think they need to open up more schemes for him rather than McDaniel, who has been fine, but not particularly effective.
7 on the shot clock. McDaniel outside the arc. He's going to take a deep three, and he gets it. McDaniel to bring Michigan back within 17.
There's a commentator streak. Just as I said he wasn't particularly effective today, he nails another three.
McDaniel now in the lead for points scored with 9. He passes Cheddar 7. Rutgers passes around the horn. Hyatt's going to take a mid-ranger. Can't get it to go. Terrence Williams, the second, gets the rebound. Pass to McDaniel. Back to Williams. Going to take a 3. Short. And Rutgers going to come up with the rebound. Fernandez gets it just in front of his bench. Stays in bounds. And with 1:27 left, Rutgers still having their using a losing timeout. They're going to take it right here as they are in a cold spell. They have not scored in 4 minutes. Michigan is on an 8-0 run to cut what had been a 25-point deficit to 17.
Yeah, and I think Michigan's box defense has gotten slightly better at sort of giving themselves more time and forcing Rutgers to be multiple looks. Whereas previously Rutgers could take their time to run the one line. They haven't necessarily had that same opportunity now. I think that's contributing a bit to their dry spell. And I think the game has slowed down a little bit in part due to the fact that 2 timeouts and called the last set. But I think from Rutgers' perspective, they want to pick up the states a little more. Speed seems to seem done a little better than Michigan does.
I'm getting a little bit of momentum. Rutgers starting to cool off. Shooting, as we expected probably would happen after they start 7-7. Still at 59%. Still have a commanding 17-point lead. Possession arrow is with Michigan, so unless we have a held ball in the final 90 seconds, it'll be Michigan ball to start the second half. We're out of the timeout. 1:20 to go. Rutgers will pass around the horn. Fernandez now takes it just to the edge of the lane. He'll now pass out to Simpson, who comes inside, swings to the left. Back with the Hyatt. Thinks about 3. 6 in the shot clock. He'll take the 3, guarded by Cheddar. Goes long. And it's going to be a foul against Michigan, I believe. Juwan Howard not liking it. Terrace Reed Jr. picks up his second foul. On the rebound, Reed came up with the rebound, but called for a foul against Amori, who's going to go to the line for a 1-and-1. And he misses the front end, and Burnett comes up with the rebound. So a break for the Wolverines. Final minute of the first half. McDaniel has it. Passes it across left side to Williams to Cheddar. Inside to Reed. Reed puts it up and in. And Michigan extends the run to 10-0. And it's back to a 15-point game. Simpson now taking it up. There's a 13-second differential. 3 game clock and shot clock. Rutgers going to slow it down a bit. Michigan will get a possession unless Rutgers rebounds their own mess. 12 to shoot. Hyatt. On the foul line. Passes back to Fernandez. Takes a 3. Misses. And Michigan comes up with the rebound. They'll have the final possession. McDaniel has it. 12 to go in the half. It's going to slow it down. Found the proofs of this first half. Not much going on. Inside to Reed. Final second. He's got to get it off. He can. And what looked like a sloppy possession there to end the first half. Michigan is on a 10-0 run. And as we head into halftime, the score, Rutgers Scarlet Knights 41 and Michigan Wolverines 26.
Yeah, and I know we've sort of commented a lot of what Michigan has done. Perhaps they could be doing better, but I think another thing is I think scheme a little bit more for size because I feel like both Cheddar and Terrace Reed Jr. could get a couple more looks in, and obviously like in terms of size, the 2 teams match up. Rutgers isn't necessarily having super physical traits that Michigan needs to really worry about. So I think Michigan definitely do a bit more to open up Cheddar and Reed and just kind of use their size a little bit more, especially on defense.
Okay, I'll take a look at first half stats here. Rutgers with the 15-point lead. Jeremiah Williams leading with 9 points. He's been their leading scorer, averaging 12 a game in the 7 games he's played this season. The first of which came against this Michigan team in Ann Arbor back on February 3rd. Flip of Lori has 8 points. Andre Hyatt also with 8. Noah Fernandez and JaMychal Davis each with 6. Derek Simpson, Austin Williams each with 2. This time we're going to try. As Oscar Palmquist has been in the game and has not scored for Rutgers. For Michigan, Doug McDaniel leading with 9 points. Terrence Free Jr., Will Cheddar each with 7. Terrence Williams second has 3 points. And those are the only 4 players who have scored so far this game. Navari Burnett, lone Wolverine starter to not score. And this Michigan team also has not gotten any points out of their bench. Trey Jackson, Jalen Swellen, and Jace Howard all making appearances in this first half and not putting anything on the board.
Yeah, I think that was just really not the mental swing that Rutgers wanted throwing in. And I think they've become a little accustomed to Michigan giving them room from outside the arc. That they were sort of taking way more time than they necessarily needed to on some of the which to and I think it was sort of coming back to, well, I would say haunt them because the game hasn't ended. We don't know what the consequence of that could be, but it definitely wasn't necessarily working out the way they might have wanted to. Uh,
So we're at halftime here. It's a 15-point lead for Rutgers as they're on top 41-26 after they got off to a scorching hot start in the first half. We'll take about a 10-minute break here as these teams head into the locker room, and then we'll be back here on WCBN Sports for the second half of Michigan men's basketball. Even involved in violent breakdowns and ignorance and civilian achievement and difficult on a long set. You were a coincidence. You know, it is beauty, outstanding, open, never. I guess you want one more pump. Alex Allison. And Cindy was shaker well. In their relation after receiving any more time and certainly consider. They check out my Easy guys overhead and find it. Where tonight's Easy guys July of the first half. That's how that pieces. These are the 5 seconds. He's the best. This behavior type to be on touches and colors just like so to that you to easy best from into line the color choices or sitting in line just later. What is the ball? Just interest is the decent best out chair. Rutgers basketball is 16 terms down here. 6 people. She's walking on for watch. Everything is just drives. To make something food and energy. This is Forward to achieving and cuts to the nice. That's goal. Huge. It helps the plot of slaying to the center to reducing the test of emerging takeouts. Easy on the water valley monthly. Steakhouse eating costs. I wish this steakhouse. Oh, you got rid of that club. I don't think it's great like the one in public service. He's new to these buying service in 15 years. Also, you know, with a lot of parking. And straight from the leadership team, just touring in all special. This is that money here, right? I'm still close to some gently to the back telescope, so I think I'm seeing top studs and perfectly consistent. Just out in the mood to leave another trust. Likely by the rifles, you saw big series of New Jersey. The official health insurance department on top of athletics. This is a license you. Shot off. You're a national overhead. Did you be no more? I might just see I just first take action. Sure seem much. Player partnership, which is no longer that was.
And we are back bringing you second half action of this Michigan Wolverines basketball matchup against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Michigan struggled significantly in the first half, especially in transition and with holding on to the ball. And Rutgers did end the half on a dry run, but in general, some very solid basketball from the Scarlet Knights. Zach, what do you think Michigan needs to do to sort of get back into this game?
Well, I think they need to defend the paint a lot better than they have. That's been their biggest issue so far in this first half. Of the 41 points, Rutgers has scored 22 of it in the paint, and it really hasn't been contested. Too often, you had Terrence Reed Jr. or Terrence Williams II or Will Cheddar or someone just standing under the basket, but not really contesting. That's been the biggest issue on the defensive side, as you talked about in the first half as well. They've just let Rutgers get into transition too fast, and they haven't been able to defend it. On the offensive side, they got to create space better. They've been missing a lot of shots. I think, as you talked about, have been airballed, and there's just not enough spacing to give themselves multiple options to move the ball so that they can get better looks. That's led to a lot of low quality shots. Obviously, they're down 15 at halftime. They are on a 10-0 run. It gave them a little bit of momentum, but they're going to have to put both sides together and do it fast, especially for a team that has struggled a lot more in the second half than they have in the first half this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And normally Michigan can rely on the first half lead for the Bills, even if they do end up blowing those leads. They don't have that luxury today. They have a lot of work to come back. There's a lot to address, and we'll just see if they can address it. As things stands, Linus looks about the same that both teams have been running so far, and it's going to be Michigan's ball to resume the half as Cheddar finds Ethan. And McDaniel. McDaniel from the center looking for an opening. McDaniel taps off to his left. Cheddar swinging out in the middle. Reed steps forward but McDaniel's find Williams. Williams finds McDaniel again. McDaniel, Burnett. Cheddar driving in. Williams driving in the paint. Williams from mid-range. First basket of the day for Michigan. The half as Rutgers' scoreless run continues, but now Simpson for the Scarlet Knights. Simpson finds Davis on his left. Davis back to Simpson. Back to Williams. Williams finds Hyatt. Finds Simpson again. Simpson driving into the paint. Simpson finds Williams outside. Williams from outside. Williams gonna break the three. Hyatt picks up the rebound. Hyatt finds Murray on the inside, and Mitchell draw foul from the Wolverines.
Yeah, that was a good possession initially for Michigan. They controlled the paint well, forced a real tough three that Williams missed, but then gave up the offensive board. Only the third one Rutgers has got in this game. That hasn't been a big issue for Michigan, but ultimately costly there. And once that happened, Amori was easily able to get into the paint, got fouled, gets the chance for a three-point play.
And Amori, free throw is good. Knuckles gonna put three on the board after they score this run. Was McDaniel. Gilmore finds Williams. Finds McDaniel again. McDaniel driving in. McDaniel on Simpson. McDaniel has the court open. Has time. McDaniel on the outside. McDaniel. Cheddar. Cheddar finds Reed. Reed finds Williams on the outside. Williams back to Reed. Reed driving in. Rutgers picks up the rebound. Williams into the paint. Williams beats the look. Williams gets another two on the board for Rutgers.
Yeah, just once you get there, again, good for Terrence Reed. He's just got to get that reverse layup in. But then Jeremiah Williams just going uncontested. And that's been the big issue for the Michigan defense.
As Rutgers gets at the rebound, all the way down on the man who slams it into the dark. Michigan's from Pound. McDaniel from outside finds Burnett. Burnett from outside. Burnett puts the First the attempted three, but Williams with the rebound. Williams finds McDaniel on the outside. McDaniel from the center. McDaniel into the paint. McDaniel drives in. McDaniel, well good. Rebound is going to be picked up by Hyatt. He jumps it off to Simpson. Simpson grabs it down. Simpson gets the bucket. Hit Ricky. And I believe that is supposed to be a timeout.
Yeah, Michigan's taking a timeout here. And this is big, the same issue I was talking about. These last three possessions, Rutgers got into the paint uncontested and an easy layup or dunk. Michigan, that first possession, I said they did a good job containing the paint. Gave up the offensive rebound. Okay, you can live with it because it hasn't been much of an issue for Michigan this game. It'll happen on occasion. But the last three possessions is what we had seen a lot in the first half. Just quick transition, no contest by the Wolverines. That's just been the big issue that this team has fought all game. And it's why a team with as many offensive struggles as Rutgers, only averaging 66 per game, already up to 50, only 2.5 minutes into the second half.
Absolutely. And Rutgers' improvements at halftime were reflected by the energy of their crowd, which is just raucous tonight. Closed student section here at the Jersey Mike's Arena in Piscataway. If you're still listening, thank you for tuning in. If you're new, welcome aboard. What do you think the number one things they've done? Young and they've had. What do you think the Wolverines need to do better going into this second half? What do you think their biggest error that they've shown so far in the first few minutes of play has been?
Well, I think Michigan, we've talked about that they have size. So you have Terrace Street Jr., Will Cheddar. They really have to figure out a way to funnel any Rutgers inside offense into those two guys, because that's where they have a chance to stop those drives to the basket. And I think they need to kind of rework the offensive game plan a little bit so that they're able to have more sides and contain it back rather than forcing Reed to the basket and then there's just no one to contain for it back when Rutgers gets the ball. I think Michigan needs to change their offense a little to focus more on defense. We talk about complementary basketball, and I think that's a big issue with what's going on is the Rutgers transition has been an issue for Michigan all game long, and a large part of it is how Michigan is playing offensively, which we've seen hasn't really been all that effective either.
Absolutely, yes. As we're going to return to media timeout and it's ball. Burnett. Williams. Back to Burnett. Burnett driving down the right side, cutting him to center. Burnett tries to get it off to Williams, but it's going to be out of bounds. As it is going to be the Wolverines. Well, solid block there from Williams. Should have protected the move. To shake up the Wolverines' momentum. As Burnett gets it off to McDaniel. McDaniel finds Reed. Reed driving into the paint. Reed. Reed finds McDaniel. McDaniel finds Williams. Williams finds Reed. Reed driving into the paint. Going to be called for a foul as the Wolverines are going to have a shot chance from the free throw line.
And I think this is really something we've seen a lot from Michigan, not really getting into the paint until the final few seconds. Obviously, right there it worked. Reed got the reverse layup, gets the N1. I still don't think it's a sustainable offensive strategy there.
Reed's first free throw is good. As Scarlet Knights. Simpson finds Williams. Finds Simpson again. Back to Williams. Williams. France Duckler. Scarlet Knights climb to 52. Putting the Wolverines 20-point deficit. McDaniel. Driving in. Daniel looking for an opening. As of right now, he doesn't find it. McDaniel. Still McDaniel. McDaniel. Finds Burnett. Finds Williams. Williams. Williams gonna try and attempt the layup. Not quite gonna work out. It's Rutgers ball.
And, another thing I'm seeing on the defensive side for Michigan, I think they might want to look into maybe going a little bit more of a man-to-man because they have guys in the zones, but they're just not positioned properly within the zones.
Burnett. McDaniel. Back to Burnett. Burnett from downtown. No good. Simpson picks up the rebound. Simpson driving into the paint. Simpson. The rebound is picked up by Reed. Handed off from McDaniel. McDaniel driving in the paint. McDaniel from mid-range. Not quite. Another air ball. As Hyatt finds a way open backcourt. Finds Sedona. That is a 23-point deficit. I believe Rutgers' biggest lead of the day.
And there's just got to be someone back there. There's just nobody even near Andre Hyatt there. And that's the breakdown we've just seen so much throughout this game from this Wolverines defense.
Vihaan. Picked off by Hyatt. Williams. Williams. Drives in. Simpson and Lowe are going to fight over it. But, sorry, Simpson and Howard are going to fight over it as a timeout is called. So, looks to be a timeout called by Rutgers.
This is going to be the under 16 media timeout here. And as we see Rutgers getting this lead back up to 23, I think we're seeing a few issues. I think Michigan just isn't playing zone defense well. And so we're seeing cases where they'll have a guy, even someone like Terrace Reed, covering the basket who's capable of defending it, but just is not getting into the right position. And then we saw like that last dunk by Hyatt. They just had no one back there.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, that was a colossal lapse on the Wolverines then.
Right. And obviously it starts with the turnover on the offensive side, but that still isn't an excuse. You need to have someone back there because you're going to turn the ball over. Michigan's turned it over 12 times this game. That's obviously too much. Rutgers has only turned it over 4 times, but you're going to have turnovers and you have to be able to play defense offset. And I think if you have to pick a side that's been more concerning for Michigan this game, I think it's the offense in this sense, not even so much about them not moving the ball well enough around the basket. It's has been a problem, but more the way it's turning into out-of-place defenders. That really has been an issue for Michigan all game. And they've had defensive struggles much of the year. I think it's more pronounced and more consistent in this game, and it's why they have this huge deficit.
Coming out of the media timeout, too. Yeah, as you said, I think the Wolverines need to do a lot better at shooting backwards because that Hyatt lapse is inexcusable. And as I said, it's not with the offensive turnover, but these players have defensive responsibility. They should be able to adjust in time to be able to do that. And as Wolverines have not started out the way they want to this half. A lot of it is avoidable, but sometimes not creative enough off the books. So far, Green is the only player on the Wolverines with the statistic double figures as opposed to three on Rutgers then, and that's Hyatt, Almarie, and Williams.
Yes, and look at that Rutgers side. Christian Maury, of course, known for his stop blocking ability. He has to this game, but also leading the team in scoring with 15. 7 for 8 from the field, and then they split a pair of free throws, and that's what we're seeing Rutgers do. Jeremiah Williams with 11, Andre Hyatt with 10. They're turning their defense into offense, which is good complementary basketball.
Yes. Hyatt's going to get a quick bucket as we return for media timeout. Daniel. Howard. Howard finds Burnett. Burnett back to McDaniel. Way downtown, being guarded closely by Fernandez. Going to pick up the foul down. It's a little bit of confusion there. Struggle.
Yeah, and I don't know if there was a personal foul or if they gave a double technical foul. It's not really what you want to see. With a Michigan team down 25, I think they called a foul against Noah Fernandez. I think that's what the call was. Michigan, I don't know exactly what's going on. Michigan probably just frustrated with how they're playing and perhaps taking it out on Rutgers a bit.
As McDaniel. Williams on Fernandez. McDaniel finds Williams on his right. Shutter in the center. Out to Howard from way downtown. No good. Rebound picked up by Williams for Rutgers. Williams driving in. Williams finds Fernandez on his right. Fernandez finds Davis. Davis finds Hyatt. Hyatt being guarded by Howard. Then find Williams from behind him. Williams on his own. Williams driving the paint and takes a step out. Williams gets a shot off just before the shot clock. No good. Rebound picked up by McDaniel. McDaniel finds Burnett. Finds Williams. Williams from downtown. Bang! And a long-awaited 3 for the Wolverines. CQ3 slightly cut the deficit for the Scarlet Knights too. And now there's Fernandez.
Yeah, that's it. That's good ball move right there. Able to push it out to Terrence Williams in second in the right corner. And he was wide open there. That's a good 3-point look, and he's able to hit it.
Davis drives into the paint. Rebound picked up by McDaniel. McDaniel from the left. Trying to find a look in the center. McDaniel in the paint. Dumps it off the Shutter from outside. Shutter's going to airball it through. It's going to be no good.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a contested shot. It's not a 3-point attempt I love. Still should not be airballing it. But again, that's just not a shot he needs to take with that much time left on the shot clock with the contest. I like the last 3-pointer from Terrence Williams a second because he was wide open in the corner. I just don't like the shot selection. You have time. Try to move the ball and get a better look.
As Fernandez puts the ball. Fernandez going to try and take the back turn. Nice control there. The plan for them. The real production from Town. McDaniel. McDaniel. Cuts her out. Finds Howard. Howard drives down. Howard, this is the left. Rebound picked up by Griffiths. Griffiths finds Fernandez from outside. Well good. It's going to be Scarlet Knight's ball. No, sorry, it's going to be Michigan ball. It's going to be Howard taking the ball from outside. Shutter's coming up close to receiving. Or no, Shutter will be taking the throw. So over there. And Shutter finds McDaniel. He's near left. McDaniel sends it possible Llewellyn. Llewellyn on the far right side. Holding onto the ball after Thompson Simpson. Llewellyn still on Simpson. Finds Shutter in the center. Shutter It's off to Jackson on his back. It's off McDaniel. Fouls. You got to start my play. Yes. We're going to timeout. We're about a little under halfway through the second half. So far, not much has meaningfully changed for Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, as we hit this under 12 media timeout here, we're seeing, I think, a little better those last few minutes. Michigan inside, and especially a Rutgers team that came into tonight only shooting 29% on threes. I don't mind if Michigan is forcing Rutgers out to the perimeter or to take those longer shots because it's just a lower probability play for Rutgers. Obviously, you don't want to give them wide open looks, but those last couple possessions, Rutgers gets a couple threes, they make one of them. I'm fine with that because at least you have traffic inside, and it's a chance at three versus a guaranteed two. I think the big thing for Michigan has to be containing the paint. And we talked about this being one of the more winnable matchups that Michigan has played as of late. They've had a tough schedule playing Purdue, going at Northwestern, Michigan State, at Illinois, at Nebraska. They've lost all five of those games. None of them are easy matchups. They go to Ohio State this coming Sunday, which again, winning on the road in the Big Ten is always tough. But it's a game. Michigan beat Ohio State at Chrysler. They have a chance to win that, but they just have to play a lot better than they have tonight. And I think it starts with controlling the basket better. And as I've talked about, that includes on the offensive side, they need to have more protection and back in addition to moving the ball better and getting better shot selection. I just think the shot selection has been pretty poor, and that's the reason they're only making 30% of their shots tonight.
Yeah. And I think another factor today that hasn't necessarily been taken into account is the fact it's the first game without Kamala after the surgery. I just think there's a lot of these open backcourt moments, just moments where a little more contest is made on the shots, where he would have been a significant asset simply because of how effective he is relative to the rest of the roster on both ends of the court. And uh, yeah, as it looks like we're returning from the media timeout as Williams hands it off to Fernandez. Fernandez hands it off to Williams. Williams from outside finds Griffiths from downtown. Griffiths from outside. Just misses the shot. Burnett picks up the rebound for Michigan. Burnett finds Howard. Howard finds Llewellyn on his right. Llewellyn moving back into its left. Finds Shetter. Shetter finds Jackson. Jackson drives into the paint. Jackson goes to go. Manages to get the ball out time to Burnett. Burnett back to Jackson. Jackson from downtown. No good. Ball picked up by Griffiths. Griffiths finds Williams. Williams in the paint. Williams going to attempt the layup. No good. Ball took away by Howard. Covered by Jackson. Jackson finds Howard. Howard driving in. Howard outside. Howard back to Jackson. Jackson driving in. Jackson. Jackson to the bucket. Fred Jackson. Michigan 36. Rutgers 59. Fernandez. Fernandez on the wall. Fernandez. Fernandez from the outside. Fernandez. 7 meters in the mid range. Finds Simpson on his outside. Simpson drives into Griffiths. Griffiths finds Williams. Williams into the paint. Williams. Lamb is made. Williams. Scrub. Cross 60. 61 to 36. As Llewellyn. Oh, it's looking for help. Llewellyn finds Shetter. Shetter back to Llewellyn. Llewellyn in the paint. Llewellyn Nice move to sort of juke out some defenders, but it's no good as the rebound is picked up by Simpson, who hands it off Fernandez. Fernandez from the court. Fernandez from the logo. Fernandez. Just looking for Wexler. He's going to find Williams on the outside. Williams from downtown. No good. As foul is, if the ball is tipped away by the Scarlet Knights, what's going to be Wolverines' ball. Not sure entirely what has happened here, but it looks like they're deciding.
I believe it's going to be a foul against Rutgers. They thought that that Williams was fouled on the shot. They have not announced who the fouls against. And it may have just been an inadvertent whistle. Now, it does appear that the foul was on Palmquist on the rebound.
Burnett finds McDaniel. McDaniel driving in. Finds Shutter. Finds Burnett. Back to McDaniel. McDaniel into the paint. McDaniel from mid-range. McDaniel gets the bucket. Michigan now back up to 38. Simpson. Simpson driving away, and Simpson finds Griffiths on the outside. Griffiths finds Williams. Williams from the logo. Williams trying to find a look at. Williams hands it off to Griffiths. Griffiths downtown. 64-38. Scarlet Knights can open up large. McDaniel. McDaniel. Lines up. Gonna have to take the in recover. McDaniel. Still McDaniel. Finds Burnett. Burnett from mid-range. Wins the foul. And ball is going to be going Michigan's way as it seems as though our team's floor. They're taking this girl to the right. Burnett. For, I believe, one of, if not his first experiment with the line today. Burnett. Burnett's first free throw is good. And Clue's going to have another opportunity to shoot. Burnett, outside. Second free throw is also good, as Michigan crossed the threshold at 40. As Simpson hangs off Fernandez. Fernandez looking for an opening. He's going to hit back off to Simpson. On his left. Williams skirting at the perimeter. Back to Simpson from the left. Simpson finds Fernandez, who attempts from mid-range. No good. Burnett picks up the rebound. Nice little athletic move there. Finds Zachary on his right. Hands it back off to Burnett. Hands off to Shutter. Shutter hit off to Reed. Bucket doesn't go in, but nice bit of ball movement there to work down the court so quickly for Wolverines.
Yeah. Michigan's moving the ball better.
Off to Simpson. He's going to attempt from outside the arc. No good. Rebound picked up by Hyatt. Still no good. Recovered by Shutter. Shutter. McDaniel on his right. McDaniel driving in the paint. McDaniel going to win a foul. As timeout called by Michigan.
Yeah, so as we hit the under 8 timeout here, I think you look at Michigan these past few minutes, they've done a better job containing Rutgers inside. I think they've been moving the ball around a little better on the offensive end, drawing a couple fouls. I still would like to see them work the ball into the paint a little more than they have. They do have 16 points in the paint. Rutgers has 38. Right there is the difference in the game. The teams are basically doing the same thing out on the perimeter. You look at 3-pointers, Michigan 5 for 17, Rutgers 6 for 16. But again, that is significant disparity. I think that is the difference, that Michigan's just been taking a lot of mid-rangers, which are just arguably the lowest probability plays. Rutgers not only getting into the paint, but almost uncontested shots. Michigan, they're not going to get that because Rutgers is so stout on defense, but I think they need to push the Rutgers defense a little more. Rutgers has picked up 5,000 this half. Michigan only has one advantage sling in Michigan's favor, but I think Michigan needs to force the issue inside a little more than they have.
As you said, they haven't. There still hasn't been enough contesting of these shots, and I think the movement on offense has been significantly better, as you said, but it still isn't enough when you just gave up so many points in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, we take a look at these teams and we talk about, Michigan being a kind of middle of the pack offensive team against a tough Rutgers defense. And we've really seen it play out. Rutgers defense just making it very tough for Michigan to get anything going on offense. It's been that other side. We talked about weakness against weakness, what was going to give. And Rutgers not a particularly good shooting team, but Michigan's just made it so easy for them. That's allowed them to overcome their own numbers, and they're still at 52% in shots, in field goal percentage. It's come down throughout the game. Obviously, they started 7 for 7, but still such a high clip there. Michigan does at 30.6%.
Yeah, and I think there was some really good bits of just 1-2 units from the Wolverines. Namely, the one from a few minutes ago where they just sort of did not anything when Reed sort of tricky slam. But I think bits of unit like that are good, and I think that's what the Wolverines expected to see more today with bringing Doug back into the fold. And obviously, it didn't pan out for most of the game, but it's probably one of the few things that they got right today as time went on, getting those off defense back into shape. Now, it's still just those uncontested shots that, and speaking of uncontested shots, there's one coming Michigan's way in the fourth free throw. And Daniel, no good. The super ties will be sometimes will be also no good. And obviously, it's a very nebulous thing to bring up, but I feel like every time Michigan have been, both times when Michigan were in the area close to the Rutgers student section, they just weren't necessarily able to keep up with the momentum of the game. Obviously, it doesn't have much impact on the game itself, but when Michigan have made so many other errors, it's worth noting is McDaniel from the outside. McDaniel finds Reed in the paint. Reed, going to the bucket, can be blocked off by Almurui. As that's going to be Rutgers balls.
And that's exactly what I talked about when I say forcing the issue. Reed getting inside. We know if Reed's going to score, he's obviously not taking mid-range with the 3-pointers. He's got to get inside. That's what I want to see Michigan doing more.
As Reed's first free throw attempt was good. Michigan's had a lot of looks from the free throw line for the last few minutes. The second attempt from the free throw line is also good. As Griffith's on the recovery after Fernandez. Finds Simpson on his left. Finds Fernandez. Fernandez finds Simpson. Simpson finds Fernandez in the center. Finds Simpson. Simpson finds. Was looking for Griffith. Mission betting ball, but Simpson going to go way down. He's going Fernandez from downtown. No good. This ball is going to go the Scarlet Knights' way after Michigan sort of put an unnecessary hand on the ball as it was going out of bounds.
Yeah, and with Michigan only having one foul with 7 minutes left in the half, I would like to see them be more aggressive after that loose ball. Nice break up there, but they're going to come away with that ball. And if you foul them, so what? It's your second foul of the half. You end up giving the wide open 3 look to Fernandez. He doesn't pick it up, and you give up the rebound anyway.
As Fernandez finds Simpson. Guarded closely by McDaniel. Simpson. He's not going to be able to win the rematch, so he dumps off to Fernandez on his right. Fernandez drives in the paint. Jackson going to frustrate his attempt on getting the bucket. Foul number 4. Lars. The foul is going to go Wolverines Scarlet Knights way as Fernandez is going to have a chance to shoot from the free throw line. Maybe a little soft in terms of contact called on that foul, but anyway, Fernandez first attempt is good.
Yeah, and I will say I'd rather see Trey Jackson try to get in there and end up committing the foul versus the uncontested shots that we've seen much of this game.
And Fernandez is 2 for 2 on both the free throw attempts on that shot. Was McDaniel finds Burnett. Nice long pass there. Back to McDaniel. McDaniel crossing over to the left. McDaniel finds Burnett. Burnett from downtown. Bang! Michigan. 4 steps it slightly to 21.
Yeah, and I thought that Burnett should have taken the 3 or at least faked the 3 when he first got the ball. But Michigan able to move around, got it back, got a wide open look from the corner, knocked it in.
Simpson drives in the paint. Simpson finds Williams from outside. Williams forcing his way into the paint. Armory is there to finish off the dunk. Murray, 19 points on the day. McDaniel goes ahead and gets a bucket just there. We almost missed out on that one because the reaction on Murray's dunk. But Simpson being guarded closely by McDaniel. Simpson finds his way in the paint. Simpson's going to attempt the layup. She's not quite enough info there. Michigan again going to put their hands to the ball a little faster than expected, but they're going to come out with a Williams. Taking bounce. McDaniel. Williams. Across the court. Jackson. McDaniel from behind. McDaniel. Finds Williams on the outside. Williams drives in. Williams from the Scarlet Knights are going to fight up. That's going to be an offensive foul.
Yeah, this will be a 1-and-1. That is the 17th foul against Rutgers. So Michigan is going to start getting free throw attempts on every foul for the rest of the game.
Right, and the Scarlet Knights maybe need to pull the aggression just a little bit. The Wolverines maybe need to turn it up on that end. Shooting one wall. Wolves. Wolves. First free throw is good. Wolves. The second to third time is no good. Well, Michigan was able to pick it 3 down. Okay, no, recovers it and then drives out to the far left. Across the court, Burnett from downtown. No good. Amory with the rebound. Amory finds Williams. Williams skirting the outside of the paint. Williams gonna beat off the chance from McDaniel. As no, sorry. Foul from Michigan, foul from McDaniel. Again, lighter contact, but that sort of goes along with the officiating in the last few minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the aggression from McDaniel. I think that region is a bit unnecessary. I'd rather see Michigan be tighter on defense, closer toward the basket, rather than so far out in the perimeter.
Simpson. That's Hyatt. Simpson inside. as Williams from first round. Williams will get the bucket. Nice little circle there as Rutgers leading by 22. McDaniel. McDaniel passes to Burnett. Burnett gonna try with the spin move. Gonna be taken off of him as Williams takes that empty backcourt down to the dunk. Yeah, another example of there was just no contest here. There was no one in the backcourt.
Yeah, that's just the epitome of what's been going on all game. The light ball turnovers are an issue, but still less of an issue than where the defense has been after those turnovers.
Burnett's top three is no good. As we have another timeout. The foul is called on Jeremiah Williams there, which is something that the Rutgers faithful really do not like. Rutgers getting a little unnecessary with the fouls, but one could argue they secured the victory fairly quite some time ago.
Yeah, so we're in the last media timeout here. And Terrence Reed will go to the free throw line. We saw the foul called against Rutgers. And again, the one thing Michigan has been on the plus side here in this half is fouls. Michigan only has 3 this half. Rutgers with 8. But I think we've seen the defense has played better in the second half than the first half. But we saw that last dunk by Jeremiah Williams. You had 3 guys in Rutgers front and forward after they got the takeaway, and it was all Scarlet Knights. That's 2 automatic points for Rutgers right there. And it feels like so many of those points have come that way. And at that point, it doesn't matter where Rutgers ranks in the nation in scoring offense. They're a Big Ten basketball team. They're going to pick up those points. And if they play the defense, they become so good at playing, and it leads to this blowout here.
And Michigan has given up, on average, 79 points a game this season. Rutgers very, very close to touching that mark. And they are scoring on average, Michigan is scoring on average 74.8 points a game. They have quite some ways to go the last 3.5 minutes if they're going to go to that total.
And I'm just really curious to see. Obviously, we have a few minutes left here. I'm really curious to see when the Wolverines go to Columbus Sunday, take on a Buckeyes team that they beat earlier in the year, played on January 15th at Chrysler Center, and they won that game 73-65. They have a chance to get a season sweep. They haven't got one against any team this year. I'm curious to see what adjustments are made. Obviously, it's tough. They only have 2 days off, back-to-back road games, but you've got to figure that their transition defense is going to be a point of emphasis in their practices the next couple days, as well as the 14 turnovers that have resulted in so many of those easy baskets.
As Michigan are getting another chance from the free throw line. No good. So we start Knight's ball. As Williams wants to take it to get by the Scott, let's make this another team between the clock. Williams is because of Williams and Marie. Sorry, Hyatt and Marie. 2 of their best players on the day. Marie, 19 points, 9 for 11 on field goals, 15 rebounds, 1 assist. Absolutely dominant from McMillan.
Yeah, I think just a delay now, making sure the foul's reported properly.
As Simpson already. Finds Williams. Back to Simpson. Finds Williams. Finds Williams again. Williams managed to get the bucket across despite contact from the Wolverines. 74-48. 26-point lead for Scarlet Knights. Michigan bringing off a drastically different lineup now. Washington third. Washington third. Driving in paint. Burns, you can try and shoot from downtown. No good. Rebound picked up by Rutgers. Williams. Finds Williams. No. Going to be hotly contested for the bucket. Means you hit it off the Simpson from outside. No good. But Scarlet Knights ball. So what happened? Jeremiah Williams is going to go off. Two standing ovation clip there. Well deserved as he put up 19 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and shot 9 for 12 on field goals. Another very sound day for him. He's the top point scorer on the day on either side. Michigan are going to get a chance from the free throw line. Taken by Isaiah Burns. Burns. No good. Rebound picked up by Griffiths. 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 Finds Williams. Finds Terry. Terry. Finds Williams. Williams from downtown. Bang! Well, let's get one of the services being against the Wolverines starting five, largely made up of bench players at this point, but Savala. Gonna try and attempt with a little bit of it's Terry. Terry at the logo. Terry finds Conquest. Runs good. The Scarlet Knights crossed 80 points. The Wolverines down by 3 points. This doesn't look like a contest all game, but this is probably the point where it's like the least like a contest.
Yeah, and I think we've seen with these Michigan or both teams really emptying the bench. Looks like Michigan's been more physical inside these last couple minutes. Rutgers, of course, hitting those back-to-back threes. Not much we can do about that as Michigan. Obviously, a team you're willing to give up 3-point looks to. Rutgers doesn't shoot them well. It's a better sign. But of course, giving new guys opportunities to play really the goal here at this point with this game long in hand.
Washington Third's first attempt from the free throw line is good. And another from Washington Third. Both of his are good. It was now 80-50 for Wolves. Griffiths. Griffiths. Conquest. Off to Hahn. Back to Griffiths. Back to Morales. Picked up by Terry. Terry grabbing the paint. Terry. Good job. It's up for just time it manages to win the foul. This first, and the foul is going to be on. Remember for the foul. This is Smith for the Wolverines. Cooper Smith. Right.
Yeah. But you see,
have a chance for the free throw line. This is Terry. Terry's first attempt was no good.
Yeah. And you see Cooper Smith following him all the way through to the shot. It does result in the foul, but that's the physicality I want to see from these guys.
Terry's free throw attempts are both no good, but he recovers the rebound. Back to the Scarlet Knights balls. Griffiths. Terry's been trying to attempt the dunk low, but let's tip it off just time to Hockford. Hockford managed to beat off some competition. Hawkwood finds Cooper Smith. Smith manages to get the layup off just in time. 52. Wolverines, 80 Scarlet Knights. Griffiths. Griffiths in the final minute of the game. Griffiths finds Terry. Finds Han. Kane. Sorry. Kane drives into Kane. Kane finds it. Kane for it. It's good. Like, it's 34 minutes. Wins reestablished. Cooper Smith. Finds Silvala. Silvala from downtown. No good. Rebound. What's up by Griffiths? Put back up by Hawkwood. Yet another foul is won by the Wolverines. That is one department where they have excelled today, and I pointed out they really can use their physicality in this regard. They've done that well, which that wasn't enough to move the needle when so much else has gone wrong for them today. As Hawkwood was going to get a shot chance from free throw line. Harrison Hawkwood's first attempt is no good. Will his second attempt go any better? No for both. Griffiths picks up the rebound. Griffiths, the Scarlet Knights, has been quite strong in the rebounds. Still entering the final 15 seconds to go. There's Terry from the road out. Terry just going to take this time. Fans stood to five. There's really nowhere else the game can go. And the clock finally ticks down. The final score is Rutgers Scarlet Knights 82, Michigan Wolverines 52. Expectations were low, and I think Wolverines fans still managed to be disappointed.
Yeah, and I think we take a look at this Michigan team. The defensive performance just was not good at all. I mean, this is even a worse than average performance for this Michigan defense against a Rutgers team that is so low in scoring average. That, I think, is the main concern. I did think the ball movement was all that good on the offensive side, but you can live with that. This is a tough Rutgers defense they were playing against. I think the big thing Michigan's got to take a look at as they wind down with only 2 games left of the regular season is their defense in the paint. Again, this has been the number that has stood out to me all game because it's a 30-point game. It points in the paint 48-18. There's the difference in the game right there. All 30 extra points Rutgers scored came inside. And on the offensive side, I felt Michigan needed to force the issue more than they did. They weren't going to have the success Rutgers did because Rutgers is going to make it tough. But if they try to get inside, it might not lead to points in the paint. It might lead to fouls where they're making free throws. And we saw Rutgers get into more foul trouble in the second half. I thought Michigan could have done even a better job of creating more problems for the Scarlet Knights defense there. But I think the biggest issue was not having defensive back, especially after the live ball turnovers. Obviously, you want to get the 14 turnovers down, but it also led to 16 points off turnovers. And so I think that's an easier issue to address than the turnovers themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, the big question was, can Michigan's defense manage to hold back a Rutgers offense that has looked very poor at times? And that wasn't the case. Those Rutgers turned in one of their best offensive showings of the day. Even guys like Amrui, who are usually more defensive, put in strong offensive shots. And I just built to show that there's a lot. We're not going to sugarcoat it. There's a lot wrong with this program at the moment, and we don't know how much longer it's going to be until they can get better. And I don't think we want to talk about more about this team than already have because there really is a lot good going on. So I think we'll just leave you with that. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a great night streaming live from Piscataway, New Jersey. I've been Vihaan Easwar. This has been Zachary Linder. I'll leave you with a good night and a go blue. 7 in this box. Now it's not one of us 30 being like, for you, it's a win.